A different view for the start of a walk. I'm sure you can decide where we are. We've been here before. Well, here we are, starting the walk. As you can see, we're down in the recreation area at San Jose, and I haven't set a phone going yet. We're going to see whether the new path that Gaynor and I found last time we were up here has been finished. We'll see in a minute. This is the track that we found. It wasn't really a path or a track until the foresters did a lot of work down this end, and now it's obviously being kept clear by the foresters, so it looks as though it's a good start to the walk. I think when we get to this hill just up here, we have to decide where we're going to go. It's not, as you can see, it's already at the stage where if I just get into the shade a bit, there's a path up that way, and if we look round, there's a path that way, which is where I'm going. But even when we go down this bit of path, it finishes up the end of the track. This is where the lorries came when they were actually taking trees out. But now we finish up having to make way onto some kind of path, and I'm going up this little narrow one here. As you can see, this is quite a nice path. It doesn't go very far until we reach the main track further on, and it's the old Foresters track, which is not very pleasant to walk on, but gets us where we're going. But for the time being, we'll walk through this nice little piece of woodland, and here we are, approaching the track. This one is always difficult because of knowing where to go. There's obviously that one up there, that one there, that one down there, which is where I'm going, and that one down there, which takes us back to the road. So, as far as I can recollect, we went down here because looking at it, it looked terrible, but that's where I'm going, but not with this recording. Today I'm using the Garmin Explore app for tracking. I have the route on my Outdoor Active, but that seems to be playing up again. It's a bit further on from here. We have to decide whether we take the bottom route or the top route. We're going down the bottom route. So when we get to this rough track down here, it will be turn left and see where we go to. And again, another decision has to be made. Either go that way, which takes us around the top side, or down there, which takes us down the bottom side. I want to go down the bottom side because I think that's the one that passes the new path that we found when Gaynor and I walked this just before they went bike. Again, another fork in the path. That takes us back to the road. Don't want to go there. I want to go up this one, which is a much pleasanter way to walk. It's obviously been used quite a lot by vehicles, this. The grass has been pushed down. But my recollection is it's not that easy for vehicles to get round here. So I suspect they'll have carved great holes in the track, and it will be like this is. Let me show you. What it does is it piles rocks and holes in the track This is the plonkers with their 4x4s who want to show how good they are off-road. Wrecking paths. So selfish. Well, I'm nearly round the bottom loop, not much far. Haven't come across the path as I thought was here. Maybe it runs off the top one and I just have to walk this again from the top though, instead of from down here. Little note, but still it's pleasant. All the flowers have died back now. We're into brambles everywhere. This is a bed of brambles. Both sides. You have to keep your legs away from them. As we have found in the past, they can be pretty vicious. This looks like the end of the bottom walk. So I haven't found a new footpath. So I'm in the wrong place. I'm now starting to climb. The route that I've looked at is an hour and 15 minutes, but it just climbed 200 metres, so I suspect I'm going to be out of breath very shortly as I go up this. It may be hard work, but who wouldn't put the effort in to be in countryside like this? And as I pan round through the trees there, as you can see, it is tidy, and at the side is Pico Vieja. But I'm walking up that way. We're in deciduous types of forest at present. Shortly it will change to pine. It's pine on the left hand side, deciduous on the right hand side, but it changes to all pine. As you can see further up there, these are all pines. This part of the road is always a problem. This is the line of pylons and tracks built to be able to service them, and it always appears to be the track I want to be on. I'm sure in actual fact I want to be round the corner and up to the left, up to the right as we're walking by. It doesn't look right on the map at all. As I thought, I've come back down, turned onto the path that goes to the right, and although it's a rough path, it is the correct path. Beginning to climb towards the pass to Chiñero. I'm not going to Chiñero, but all these paths tend to walk towards Chiñero. It's now getting quite warm. Having chatted to one of the environmental officers further back, and she was having a laugh at me because I was saying how cold it was. I've now got another decision to make. Let me just look at this. Upside down. Yeah, we have to go to the right according to this, so we're going up this way. The one takes us back down to the bottom. Right, okay. I'll put the GPS away and continue walking. I did send a message out at the start of the walk. I'm hoping that's actually gone out, and I did start the tracking on the Garmin. Whether or not it's working or not, I don't know. It did charge me last month for tracking, although I never saw a tracking point. The problem is we're out of 4G range, so it stores them, and sometimes it doesn't appear to send them even when we get back. And of course, it does have trouble in forest picking up the GPS position as well, so it's all a bit difficult. Anyway, still climbing, nearly at the top of this bit. I think it might be necessary to stop for water in a minute. There is a track off that way, but it's not shown on any of the maps. My route is to continue up this hill, and maybe when it flattens out and I'm in some shade, I'll be able to get a drink. Well, we've come to another turn off. Interestingly, this is the one that I added just to make this walk longer, and it goes into the wood rather than on the Foresters track, so I'm going to go around the longer route, which will increase the time I'm walking. But up here there's a bit of shade, and I'm going to stop and have a drink. It's going to take me another 20 minutes to the top of the walk now, so my time for the walk is way out, but never mind. Well, this is a selfie for you. Here we are in a nice shaded area, as you can see, roundabout, and somewhere to sit, so I'm going to have my drink. I will see what happens when I try and record from a distance like that. It will be a bit lopsided, but never mind. And I'm not sure what you're seeing at all now. We're going to get a bit of fish. Oh, I'm not actually in line with the camera, so... Oh. It always catches me. It's quite amazing to be able to sit and stare at the top of pine trees, and when there's not a sound about. There's a lack of birds out here, so you don't hear much bird song. The pinings aren't all that wonderful for birds. They are limited, but it's still wonderful. Well, that's drink number one. According to me, I've been nearly walking an hour. I can't believe I've been walking an hour. And if I have, I'm way behind schedule. I said I was going to be back between 10 and half past. 11 and half past. Not going to work. Right. And no. There is right in front of us a fairly steep climb, as you can see, so we'll turn this off. This is the first time I've had the new camera attached to the monopod. Monopod. It is a lot heavier than the other one, but it does make it so that I can use the stick to walk as well as video at the same time. We're going up fairly steeply now. It levels out a bit in a minute, and I'll be able to check where we are. There we are, up that bit. This stretch is the steep stretch climb wise. The little loop, well, not so little when I look at it. But the only way to get fit is to walk and make yourself fit. You can't get fit sat down. We'll keep climbing up to the top. The path here is a bit full of rocks like that and rough stone, but it's still pleasant enough to walk. And there are all these pleasant flowers. As you can hear, I'm feeling the strain of it, having not walked seriously for over 3 weeks. This is quite a workout. You come to a corner and think, nearly there, and then you find another hill. It's now getting very warm, but I'm at a position now where I can make the decision to turn back at any point. In fact, we are just passing one of the return paths which goes down there. You may not see it all that easily, but there is a path down there. I shan't go on that one. We'll go at least to the next possible turn and then decide. That's halfway between here and the top of this walk. Well, this is the last turn off. That is where Gail and I walked last time when we did the full walk. This one shortens it by at least 1 kilometre, and as I'm supposed to be back in 25 minutes, I think the shorter route is going to be the one I take. So we are going up this way and we'll see what's around the corner. We should be walking, as far as I can recollect, onto the contour line, which means that we'll be fairly level once we get round this corner. Well, that says there's a path up towards Chiniero up there. I'm not sure. I've looked on the GPS, it doesn't register anything up there. But then Explorer has stopped working, it's hung and I can't get rid of it. So I'm working with Outdoor Active at present. My recollection is that at the top of this hill, just up here, we start going down. The path there is strange, I will have to have a look. There isn't a return path on the other side. So I have no idea where that one goes. But maybe better if I can get onto a desktop and look. And there we are, at the top of the climb, as far as I'm concerned today. If I stop kicking the monopod, there we are. Wonderful views of the pines in Tenerife. When we came here earlier in the year, both sides of this path were covered with pretty flowers. They're all dead now, of course. I mean, some of them will have been thistles, because there are thistles about, but the others are just the, you know, you see the seed heads on these things now. All waiting for next year now, but still, it's obviously been quite dry up here. The grass is now, as you can see, a lot of this is all dried out. It's the part of the year when it's really dangerous, when some idiot drops a match, the whole thing goes up in a flash. Oh, we're starting the downhill walk now, and we're going back into the forest just round the corner. And one of the reasons I shortened this walk is that it is getting hot. I'm getting hot. The temperature is rising significantly now. It's 10 past 11. The sun's getting higher, and I need to be back in about half an hour's time out of the sun. Yes, it's a nice shady area. It's interesting to look at the rocks, etc. These things that have been spewed out of the mountain at some time. Some of them will have been cleared off the path, and these are the new pines for the future. The big pines. There they are. Kind of leaves you get on them. But why would anybody not want to be in an area like this? I did meet a Spanish chap. He was a walker, he was in walking boots, but with 2 elbow crutches. He'd obviously had an accident. Still out in the path walking. We stood and chatted a while about how nice it was to walk no matter what. You can get about even if you've got 2 elbow crutches. Oops. Nearly did them myself. Just to show why I was slipping, these are holes torn by the bloody 4-wheel drive plonkers that come out here. They tear up this track, leave loose rocks all over the place, and people like me slide down them. It's extremely annoying. Some of them might be foresters' lorries, but they normally take a bit more care of the paths than the private 4x4 people. Well, Explorer decided to switch itself back on just as Outdoor Active decided to stop working, and a woman's voice came on directing me in the opposite direction, look as though I was walking back to England. But there we are, the Chiñero path, up there to Chiñero, down there to San Jose, which, if we have a quick look on the one map that's working, I'm tempted with this because I know, yeah, it's no faster. So we go back to San Jose, down this path. It's a pleasant walk, and I thought it might be easier to walk through directly to the campsite, but it isn't actually. The route that I normally take is the fastest. So we'll now walk through a pleasant bit of countryside. We're now getting close to the bit where we turn back down to through the campsite to the recreation area where the tables are. So we're fairly close to the end. Be about 10 minutes late on this walk. A few steps in the way. Over the steps and off again. This is a really nice piece of path, obviously well defined by the foresters who look after this one. but easy to walk. There are rough patches now and then. They tend to be a bit higher up towards Chingero than down here. Eventually I should get to where I cut off to walk down across where there is no path really, back to the campsite and the recreation area. Now the path goes down fairly steeply. I think we're on the bit that takes us to the electricity pylon road or run that crosses the path down here. It's just fairly steep, coming in pine needles. A lot of them will have been picked up. The local farmers come and pick a lot of the stuff up now. They've always done it, except for the time when the Canarian government decided they'd charge them for clearing the paths for them. They've now given up on that idea, as far as I'm aware, and they can come out and collect some of this. It stops the fires, but you know, governments, like all governments, anything for making money, the fact that it makes everything worse seems to be irrelevant. Anyway, here we are, steeply downhill walk. I'll turn this off for a while. It is so nice to be back out here. I thought we were getting close to the power lines, and they're just round this next corner. We've come down fairly steeply, that's why we've not been recording. And the undergrowth is growing back quite rapidly down here. And this is the power lines, as you can see, that way and round and up there. We crossed them on the way up. Now we're going down a bit further. And we've just come down there, which is the Chingero path, and this is the other one. But we're going to go off this and go down this path, which doesn't look much like a path, but it is a path really, and it will take me back to the top of the recreation area. But as you can see, it is a bit more of a woodland path than the others. I'm a bit scratchy around the legs because not many people walk it, but that's what makes it nice. And walking down these areas is quite nice. I mean, hey, we are deep in the forest. Yeah, we're walking steeply down a path around the corner. If I can just get a bit further without falling down and breaking a leg. There we are, just round the corner, and it just goes on. Got a bit wider now, so life is easier. I was just going to check the GPS, walk round the corner, and could see the houses. So now I know where we are. I often think I should take different paths down here, but we'll go down this one. I've done this one before. Stop walking with that as you make you feel seasick. And as you can see, we're now coming out of the forest, and the recreation area is down to the right from here, but I will keep on this path. It's one that I've walked quite a lot, and it is now turning into a path. Other people are walking on it as well. So we may as well make it into a path by just walking it. There we are. This is the edge of San Jose de Llanos. Down this way is the campsite and recreation area where the picnic tables are. We're going to walk down that path there. And here we are, approaching the picnic area with its barbecues and tables. Oops. Let's walk round the edge. See if we can have a look at the barbecue. These are the barbecues that are set up for people to use. But in really serious fire risk weather, all these will be locked and not be usable. But at present they're still available, as are the tables and chairs, of course. I mean, these are the tables and chairs that are spread about in this area. We have got some red and white tape about. I don't know why. I think it was there last time we came down. I think it may be just protecting people from these rocks which are being piled up there. And as we wander down this last bit, this is the bar that we normally have coffee at. We're finished. Oh, there don't seem to be many people in today. Maybe it's closed. Oh no, they just have a customer at the bar. And there we are, the minibus. Oh, the back of the minibus is there.